Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Anahuac Sports Live for another year of Panther football. I'm Trent Hart. Shortly, I'm going to be joined here by my partner in crime, Alex Outram. But in the meantime, we're going to get down to the field, and as the JV scrimmage has already started, they're on the field against Warren. And we're going to get to the live feed here. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a scrimmage, a little bit different format for everybody to get used to. Not in the way that you're normally going to see games, but as of right now, it's JV control format. They started it a little bit earlier ago. Right now, the Panther JV is up against the Warren JV. And I'm not going to be able to call it by name as far as numbers go for these players because I don't have their names yet. But the freshman teams went earlier. And bear with me, folks. I'm going to run through some technical difficulties, but I'll be right back. We're going to stay on the live feed, but I'll be right back after I check a couple things. And ignore that description in Facebook. Of course, this is not the graduation, and that's part of the technical issues that we're having. But I'll be right back. Y'all just keep watching the live feed, and we'll be back shortly. All right, sorry about that. Everybody that was watching on Facebook, I apologize. There was a misdescription on there, and if you're still seeing it, ignore it or refresh your page. This is the high school football scrimmage, and it's Warren versus Hardin, Jefferson, and Anahuac. And right now you're watching the JV on the field. And this is the way the format's going to go today, folks. It's going to be you're seeing the Anahuac Panther JV offense against the Warren defense. And next will be the Anahuac Panther defense versus the Warren offense. And then right after that, those 10 plays, we'll get on to the varsity. And once my partner Alex Outram gets out here, we're going to talk a little bit about last year and how the Panthers did, a little bit about Warren and how their season is anticipated to go, and as well as the Hardin Jefferson Hawks and what they've got going on their side of the football. And just kind of talk about what to expect this year and what the teams did last year. We welcome everybody back. It feels good to be back in the press box and just announcing some of these games and being able to interact with everyone of y'all that are watching with us here today. We would like for you to please just give us a share, give us a like if you could, and follow on our Facebook page. And if we're broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube, so give us a subscription button push over there on YouTube. As you watch number 23, actually that's number 32, for the Panthers, gain good yardage inside the 15-yard line, down to around the 13. And it looks like he went out of bounds at around the 18-yard line. That's where they're going to spot the ball. Anahuac JV last year was pretty good. They went, I think, only lost 2 games on the season last year. And we expect a lot of those JV players from last year to graduate on up to the varsity squad this year. Like I said, I don't have the JV roster in front of me. Looks like Braden Edmonds under center. Pitch is back, which is probably Camden Wilson. And Camden will fall right around the 17-yard line. These freshman kids that moved up into the high school this year was 8th grade last year. They went undefeated on the season, won the district title for the 8th grade. A lot of those players on this JV squad. Going to be very interesting to see what they're able to do, not only this year on the JV squad, but as the years progress for the Anahuac Panthers. So Edmonds under center again. Split back formation with Witherspoon out there and number 7 to the far side. Cuts up the middle, and he's going to go in for the score. And I do believe that was Quandre on the carry for the Panther touchdown. So they'll switch sides now. Panthers will become the defense and Warren on offense. Again, scrimmage format. Right now the Anahuac offense just got done with their 10 plays and a score. They will switch sides now. Panthers will be on defense and the Warriors will be on offense for 10 plays. And after this series, we'll get on to the varsity squads. As Warren offense takes it, hand up the middle, gets some good yardage, and falls around the 38-yard line. was number 78 on the carry, fullback for the Warriors. Now spotted actually at the 39. No first down markers, as you can tell, on the far side of the field. Again, this is a scrimmage. They're going to give them 10 plays on each side of the football. We're at our last series on the JV side. As the Warren JV Warriors come up to the ball. Man in motion, flag on the play. Quarterback's going to keep it himself and get swallowed up in the backfield quickly, but we'll see what the flag is about. I think it was offsides on the Panther defense. So they're not going to step off the yardage. Again, in the scrimmage format, they're just going to take their plays wherever the ball is marked. Same formation for the JV Warriors. Quarterback under center. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and he's swallowed up quickly by number 20 of the Panther defense. And again, I apologize for not having the JV roster yet. We will next week, though, where the JV squad will be facing against Orangefield next week right here in Anahuac. As I mentioned earlier, we are streaming on both Facebook and YouTube. And if you're watching on either of those platforms, please give us a follow on Facebook or hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year on YouTube so that we can unlock some mobile features. Hand off up the middle again, and met quickly again, going nowhere as the Panther defense holds up. I want to welcome Jackson Gore to our Facebook family. He just followed the page. Appreciate you, Jackson. As I'm seeing Mr. Outram come through the door, and I'm going to pause real quick, and I'll be back with everybody here shortly. But we'll stay right here on the live feed. Don't go anywhere, as back to pass and dropped quickly. But I'm going to take a pause, and I'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is Anahuac Sports Live. Anahuac Sports Live is brought to you in part by Hillary Auto, insurance agent with Texas Farm Bureau, Porter's Wild Game Processing and Alligator Farm, Title Services Incorporated, Anahuac National Bank, member FDIC, Chambers County Abstract Company, Third Coast Integrated Martial Arts, Turn 2 Specialty Companies, and Wilcox Drug Store in Anahuac.
We are live from Kyle White Field on the campus of Anahuac High School as the 2021 football season is upon us. And tonight, the Anahuac Panthers take on a co-scrimmage as Hardin, Jefferson, and Warren tag team up to get some extra reps in between the three teams as we head into week one, starting next week for the Texas high school football season. Hello, everybody. Alex Outram joined along with Trent Hart and Terry Fortenberry as we are back for year two of the Anahuac Sports Live Network and are happy to be back on the sideline in the press box and ready to get going with another great football year. Trent, the Panthers coming off a really solid second year under head coach Greg Neese, made it to the playoffs. We're 1-out, but you saw the improvement of the team year over year heading into the playoffs and as district went on.
Well, since Coach Neese has taken over, Alex, the Panthers have shown that improvement, like he just said, each year that he's been here, and 2 consecutive playoff appearances, going 1-out and by district, both against Crockett. But there are high hopes this season as 2021 begins, as we've got a lot of seniors and a lot of kids to talk about here before we get started. And one of those is the junior quarterback, Landon Corbett.
Yeah, Corbett's second year here as a sophomore starting quarterback here for the team showed from the beginning of the season towards the end of the season into the playoffs the maturity and the recognition of what Coach Neese was looking for in his offense and really did a solid job. You don't see too many sophomore starting quarterbacks at any division of football, especially in the state of Texas, and for what Landon did last year. And not to mention playing both sides of the football. At some points they were trying to reduce his workload a little bit, had him as a running back, had him as a wide receiver. Was a fantastic safety for the team last year, coming up with some big plays, some interceptions, good tackling. Just one of those kids who is just athletic. You want the ball in his hands as much as you can, and that was definitely a focal point for Coach Neese and this Anahuac Panther football team, not to mention one of his favorite wide receivers from last year coming back this year, Zion Clark, and we saw his growth between the chemistry between those two also as the year went on.
Well, Zion, is definitely a playmaker and one of those players last year that probably didn't get as much attention as he should have, as a lot of double teams were happening on him. But still, 29 catches, 546 yards, and 6 touchdowns. A couple of huge ESPN, highlight reel touchdowns. And let's not forget about running back Christian Sanchez. I mean, he's got it done back there. Not only in the running back duties, but he's also the place kicker. And 29 carries, 546 yards on the ground, and I apologize. 814 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. 214 yards with a touchdown receiving, and then stack that on another 110 yards and 3 touchdowns passing. He's just that all-around athlete. We talked about Landon being that all-around athlete. Christian is that same thing, and they're going to have to rely on those 3 players this year because we have a lot of holes to fill, not only on the offensive line but on the defensive side of the football also, Alex.
No, absolutely. One of those big holes on the offensive side of the football is Logan DeHoyos, and he was our player of the year from Anahuac Sports Live. for the Anahuac Panthers football team last year, and just what he was able to do as a mentor and a captain, and everything that he brought to the football field. as Corbett's helmet came off. He got to the 46. That's going to be a pickup at 22 on the quarterback sneak straight up the gut.
Well, going to the Capital Farm Credit replay here, and you'll see, how special Landon Corbett is as he makes people miss left and right, breaks one here to the near side, crosses almost to midfield where he got his head taken off. And that's the stuff that we were talking about that Landon.
coming from the water. Oh. Yeah. Thank you.
How's it going down there?
It's going okay. The zoomer's a little screwed up.
Is it?
Yeah.
When it gets stuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to open it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I got a pretty good recording going on.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Just call me if you need anything. I'll do the same.
Will do.
See, and I'm going to have to remove every single one of these.
Every single 101. Well, at least we're getting it out of the way now. tell me I took that Saturday off. Yeah.
Ooh. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Test 1 2, test. Testing 1 2 3. If anybody can hear me out there, we apologize for all of the technical issues. We've been sitting here trying to get our microphones to work.
I hear that on the feed.
And apparently we are now good on the feed, so we appreciate your patience. We're sorry about having to switch back and forth between some of our scenes here. As I'm joined here, this is Trent Hart. This is Anahuac Sports Live, and we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we very much apologize for all the dead air that we experienced. Alex and I were sitting here just talking to each other, to each other, just rambling on about this and that, and nobody out there to hear me. But we are back, and thank you all for tuning in.
Mario, to answer your question, yes, Warren is in the orange. Hardin Jefferson is in the white. For those for everybody who didn't hear earlier, it is a joint scrimmage tonight between Anahuac, Hardin Jefferson, and Warren. The Anahuac defense and offense has gone through their first 2 rotations of 12 plays. Right now it is the Hardin Jefferson second team offense and second team defense taking on the Warren defense and offense. Right now it is Warren on offense. After these set of plays, Anahuac will come back onto the field with their second team offense for 12 plays, then their second team defense for 12 plays. And then we will start going into some live quarters of football. Again, a kind of a glorified practice in this scrimmage format. But for the pregame show that nobody was able to hear, we want to thank Title Services Incorporated for being our pregame sponsor. For the first part of the season here, based out of Anahuac, 409-267-1057 on Facebook at Title Services Inc. Trent, it's great to be back for a second year here on Anahuac Sports Live. We did some great things last year with multiple sports, looking to expand for everybody this year and really bring you some great hometown team coverage in our second year as a movement there by Warren. Trent, we talked about it between each other. Anahuac coming back into this year. It was Greg Neese's second year at the helm last year. We saw vast improvement from game 1 to the end of the district season into the playoffs. We talked a little bit about Landon Corbett. He's kind of the one who makes the offense run. A little bit of everything. Was a sophomore starter. Again, not something that you see too often here, especially in the state of Texas, but his athletic ability really carried him to become the starter and really get better as the season went on. Really excited to see that growth between sophomore to junior year, that maturity, has that year of reps under head coach Neese's offense, and really just to see what he can put on the field this year.
Corbett's athleticism, can only – the sky's the limit for him, Alex. I mean, last year, 901 yards, 5 touchdowns passing, 939 yards on the ground with 13 touchdowns. And, it's just you look to him on that offensive side of the ball, but not just the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side too. He plays safety for that Anahuac defense, and he's just an all-around playmaker is all you can do to it. And talking about playmakers, you got to mention wide receiver Zion Clark. Didn't get him involved as much last year because he was double teamed so much, but still 29 catches for 546 yards and 6 touchdowns. And we also got to talk about Christian Sanchez, running back and the kicker for the Anahuac Panthers. Just an all-around athlete as well. 814 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 214 yards, 1 touchdown receiving, and then 110 yards, 3 touchdowns passing. I mean, you can't talk enough about how well-rounded Christian Sanchez is.
No, absolutely. And those are the type of players that are going to keep the engine churning. As we go on, we talked about what head coach Greg Neese likes to do coming from Newton as the offensive coordinator, where they did win a state championship with that offense that is up-tempo, wanting to get the plays in, moving the football, keeping the pressure on the defense, trying to get those plays in 6 seconds, and really moving that up-tempo. Last year, not able to do it as much. Hopefully going here into year 3, I know that is a goal of head coach Neese's, to implement the way he wants to play football. And we saw a little bit of it for those who were watching with Anahuac on offense in the scrimmage portion, where they were hurrying it up to the line of scrimmage, especially after a big play. So that should really be interesting to see, again, that growth that we saw. We talked a little bit about the offensive line, lost a lot of beef.
Yes.
So that is something that's going to have to be piecemealed together to ensure that they're taking care of Landon, they're taking care of Christian, but also getting KJ Moore, the sophomore, who played as a freshman the last half of the season, to try to relieve some of that double team pressure that Zion was getting on the outside. We saw it earlier in the scrimmage where he was able to blow by a defender, was not able to haul in the pass, but if he can create that separation and make sure that the secondary is able to lay back, that should allow Zion to get a little bit more free in the secondary this year.
Well, it definitely should. I mean, it's going to take defensive eyes towards Moore's side of the sideline, and it's going to take their attention toward him so that Zion can get more involved this year. And I'm sure that Greg Neese is already thinking about that because, I mean, he is a big-time playmaker downfield, and whenever you just throw the ball up to him, more times than not, he's going to try and come down with it. He made a bunch of SportsCenter highlight reel plays last year, and we expect to see the same this year.
Defensive side of the football, it's someone we talked about who's going to be a huge presence missed off of this football team. Logan DeHoyos, who was the Anahuac Sports Life Football Player of the Year for the Panthers. Just an overall leader on that team. He set the pace, set the tone on the defensive side of that football. And what we talked about was who in practice, who during the summer workouts and stuff has stood up to replace his leadership, to come on and make sure that the team is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Who's going to be that fiery leader? And it's going to be interesting to see when I get to talk to head coach Neese next week before the game. Obviously, that's going to be a huge hole. We talked a little bit about Nan Pham, who was very, very solid along with DeHoyos last year. Is it Presley Mouton, who was also up last year? Robert Bailey, who has made some great plays last year. So who's going to be that person that's going to stand up and take charge on the defensive side of the football. This, again, is going to be the second year of the Diamond 7 formation for the defense, where they line up with 4 down linemen and then 7 in the secondary, if you will, between the linebackers and the secondary, depending on what team they're going to match up with. So we'll see what the growth looks like there. We've seen and noticed a couple of new names on the roster, some seniors. In fact, they were using a running back earlier, Miles Tinsley, senior, who is a part of the squad, who was not here last year. So, just things that we want to go over with Coach Neese and see, what he's feeling, as we move into that first game of the season that's not a scrimmage against Orangefield next Friday.
Well, regular season opening up next weekend in Orangefield. We'll be there, so be sure to tune in next Friday. We're going to start everything right around 7 o'clock. Our pregame will start, and Alex and I will both be with you. Probably rambling on about some of the same stuff that we've been talking about here tonight. But like I said, we're shaking out the cobwebs just like the teams down on the field are shaking off the cobwebs. And again, if you would comment in the chat, make sure everybody can hear us loud and clear over the stream. If not, we can make a little bit of adjustment, but at least we're back on, Alex. And it is such a pleasure to be back up here in the press box with you. As you mentioned last year, a great first year for Anahuac Sports Live, and the community support, the sponsor support, the overwhelming feedback that we've got from last year was able to make us do this year. And a lot of returning sponsors, a lot of people asking about what we were going to do for the fall, and we couldn't be happier than to bring these streams back to you.
Oh, definitely, and especially if you're listening out there, do make sure you take a look at our sponsors and try to shop local and take care of them for taking care of us. They are the ones who allow us to put this on. Obviously, we talked about Title Services Inc. for the pregame show, Chambers County Abstract Company, Third Coast Integrated Martial Arts, Wilcox Drugstore, Swanky Insurance, Anahuac Florist, Anahuac National Bank, Community Christian Fellowship Church, Porter's Alligator and Deer Processing, Hillary Auto, Texas Farm Bureau Agent, Turn 2 Specialty Companies, and Texas Ultimate VBA Club Volleyball. Again, thank you for being sponsors and being a part of what we are doing this year.
Just wanted to mention real quick to our Warren and Hardin Jefferson faithful that are watching over the stream right now. We appreciate you listening to us kind of get caught up here. A lot of the things that we were talking about while we were muted earlier when the Anahuac Panthers were on the field. And as you can tell right now, the Warren Warriors and the Hardin Jefferson Hawks are just getting ready to be done with their series of plays, as we'll get a chance to look at the Anahuac Panther defense.
So second team defense here coming on for the Panthers. Again, as we had mentioned prior to knowing that we weren't on the air, a scrimmage, glorified practice. Not normally away teams bring their rosters with them. We do have a roster for the Panthers. Unfortunately, we do not for Hardin Jefferson or Warren, so we do apologize about that. But with the Panthers coming back on the field, as Trent said, on defense. Also want to thank Terry Fortenberry up on top, providing the video for us.
Absolutely, as always. And we were talking about the defense earlier, and who's going to step into those holes, Alex? Who's going to step into that De Hoya's hole and the seniors that they lost last year? Got to look out for sophomore. Lost my train of thought there. Dalton Hendricks, excuse me. But actually, we're on offense here.
My apologies. That is the second string Anahuac offense, as Curiel is going to fling it out to Corbett out of the wide receiver position. He's going to step out of bounds at the 45. That's going to be a pickup of 15 and a first down. Marcos Curiel is one of those guys that we talked about who came up from JV. Landon was playing both ways. quarterback playing in the secondary, was getting some wear and tear on him, so was able to save him a little bit towards the end of the district season. Pitch back to Corbett this time. Corbett's going to bowl over a defender as he's going to get across midfield into Warrior territory. It's going to be a pickup of 6. Will bring up 2nd down and 4.
I expect them to get Curiel in the mix more this year so that they can utilize Landon in the backfield more as he gets under center. Pitches back to Corbett, flags down. As Corbett's going to break one, but it's going to come back anyway. And finally brought down around the 15-yard line.
As they're actually going to call offsides on that, so that was a free play. So give Landon a pickup of 32, move the chains, and just like that, the Panthers in the Warrior red zone from the 16. Again, it'll be 12 plays here for the Anahuac offense. As Curiel, the sophomore quarterback, will be under center. 2 backs in the backfield, Corbett and Sanchez. Curiel's going to throw it up for grabs, and it's going to be intercepted at the 1. Curiel tried to get the ball to Clark on the left side of the end zone, but just was not able to get it, and it looked like he was hit when he threw the ball as well.
He was kind of hit on that, but he didn't really step into the throw, Alex, and he's really got to set his feet and look at his target directly and get that ball fired in there, because every time you put it up with a moonshot like that, the defense is most likely going to come down with it every time.
So they'll flip it back again. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the Panther 30. And Curiel was one of those people that we talked about seeing the growth as getting some reps as a freshman to the sophomore. Getting those reps is going to be huge for him, especially as a backup quarterback. End around is going to go to Clark around the right side across the 30. He's going to lower his shoulder, and he's going to get dragged out of bounds at the 39-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 9. We'll bring up 2nd down and 1. And just what Curiel is able to do, as I believe coming in as a freshman, Chase Edmonds, who's been very highly touted as a possible quarterback here in the future for this Panther club.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how who is that, number 5? That is still Curiel. How they utilize Curiel and how that opens up things in the backfield for the Panther offense. Being able to put Corbett and Sanchez back there at the same time, and Curiel pitching and handing off the ball to those just opens up so many other things that Nice can do with this offense, and it's going to be interesting to see what they can do with it.
That pitch went right side to Tinsley as 2 backs in the backfield. It is Curiel under center. Tinsley to the right, Sanchez to the left. Fakes the handoff. It's going to go Corbett straight up the gut across the 50, makes a move at the 40, is going to get brought down at the 35.
And it makes 3 players to bring him down. He's such a hard hitter and downhill runner. It's so hard to bring down as number 7, Landon Corbett. And you're going to hear us call his name out a lot over the next 10 weeks of play, and hopefully further than that.
So 22 yards on the game. Pitch it right side to Corbett. Corbett's going to leapfrog a defender. He's going to pick up 2. We'll bring up 2nd down.
When we talked about how important the front, offensive line is, losing state shot putter Blake Bezdek this past year, also the Anahuac Sports Live track and field boys MVP. Big loss there up front for the Panthers, but we're going to see a lot of these underclassmen get some opportunities in this possession, as you can see now, to try and see who's going to make the best fit up there up front.
2 wide to the far side as checking in is Isaiah Gomez. Handoff's going to go straight up the gut to Tinsley. Tinsley's going to make a couple moves. He's going to pick up a 1st down. And we do have some laundry on the field, so we're going to see what that is. Usually in that area, it is the sign of holding. Want to say hello to Avery and Cade listening on Anahuac Sports Live as watching the video. So that penalty was holding. They're going to take it back from the spot of the foul. So they're going to say it happened about 5 yards down the field. So that's going to be a loss of 5. We'll bring up second down and 15. Curiel will come under center. 2 backs. It's going to be 2 different backs. As fakes the handoff, rolls right. Going to be brought in and brought down at the Warrior 26 as number 9 is not on our roster. So
is that you guys drawn?
Good job there. The other running back in the backfield was freshman Thomas DeLau.
And that was something that we said all year last year wrong, Alex. DeLeo. I got called out on it during softball season. So we can get that name. We get that name right now.
Got it. Well, he's and as a freshman, so now we got 4 years to call it right.
Exactly.
DeLeo.
Definitely great addition, especially on the coming in from last year. I think both DeLeos are on here, aren't they? Thomas and Tristan, right? Or just the one? Just the one.
Yep, there is Thomas. Yep. Yeah, Thomas is the freshman, Tristan the sophomore. Curiel is going to roll left, has a man open. It's
Good
Clark
pass.
in the end zone.
Excellent pass that time.
Paid it.
So second time the Panthers have seen the end zone, earlier on defense and now on offense. He stepped into that pass for sure.
He did. He put it right on the money. There was no way Clark was going to let that one get by. And, boy, what a relief for head coach Greg Neese if Curiel can step into some sort of role, part-time role with that, and be able to open the offense up like that. I think Landon, as the athlete that he is, such a good runner, would love to see him be able to get out into that running back spot a little bit more, or even the wide receiver spot as well, to where he can make things happen with his athleticism. But with the 12 plays up, we're going to switch sides to the defense as Warren will come onto the field. The Warren offense, rather. This will be the end of the controlled format, as after this, they will take a small break and go into the 12-minute running clock for the quarters, as we'll have 3 quarters. It'll be Hardin Jefferson against Anahuac. It'll then be Warren against Hardin Jefferson, and then Anahuac will finish it off against Warren.
Well, we're going to look at the second-string defense for the Panthers. Player that we mentioned earlier when we were muted was Garrett Dye, and younger brother of Cade Dye, senior that graduated from Anahuac last year. Right now playing in a linebacker position. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do this year and what kind of development he can show, as he was picked up for the bi-district game last year, and we were able to call his name out there toward the end of the game. They were able to hand it to him. I think it was on offense there toward the end of the game, but definitely a player to watch this year.
So this is going to go straight up the gut and being chased away by a host of Panther defenders, including Brooks Henneke, Luke Foster, and Braden Lanferman.
Christian Sanchez also in on that. Definitely a group effort on that tackle in the backfield.
Brooks Henneke, the sophomore wide receiver defensive back. Of course, we got Cade's brother Garrett on the squad as well. This one's going to go inside handoff. Getting in there, Daylon Lewis, the senior. So looking on the defensive line, I can see Presley Mouton, Brandon Mayon, and I see an 8. What's that other number?
88 there on the far side.
It is 88?
That might be Quandre Coates. I'm not entirely sure.
Sends a man in motion. Handoff, straight up the gut, nothing going. In on the tackle once more, Brooks Henneke. Let's see here. 33. And Garrett Dye, who we just brought up. Both of them converging to make that tackle.
Well, you mentioned Brooks Henneke, the sophomore defensive back again, and they call him Pocket Hercules for a reason. He's got a lot of speed and he gets to the football quickly. And I tell you what, there is a lot of heart in that kid, and on the football field you can see it every play that he does.
So this particular time, the Panthers have been running with 3 defensive linemen. Looks like in their linebacker core, you've got Braden Lanferman. We talked about Henneke and Dye, but also out there Kristen Sanchez as well. Secondary includes Delon Lewis, as his handoff's going to go straight up the gut and it's going nowhere. Dalton Hendrickson, along with Brandon Mann. Let's see, trying to get an angle on these jerseys here in the secondary.
Is that maybe number 19?
And we saw 19, Delon Lewis. Nonetheless, really the only points being scored were, again, the Anahuac defense and the Anahuac offense, so pretty good there. The defense has been pretty stout up front. As getting off the bottom of that pile once more was Hendricks.
Well, given these second string players, time on the field is invaluable. Give them that experience as much as possible. It's definitely a change of pace when you go from whether you played freshman football or JV football and making that step up to varsity. It's definitely a change in speed, and getting these young players as much time as possible is the best thing to do right now.
So that bunch formation once again rolls out, trying to throw downfield, has a man wide open. It is caught 30, 20, 10, 5, pay dirt, as blown coverage there in the secondary allows the Warriors to put points on the board.
Well, the defense was expecting a run again, and when you ground and pound and opens up the pass game, that's exactly what happens. A lot of miscommunication there on the defensive secondary to give the Warriors 6.
And that bunch formation can be deceptive,
Definitely.
especially when you keep hammering away straight up the gut. You do that play action that can suck the secondary in as they start cheating to play the run, and pays off for the Warriors that time. So they will reset back on offense. First down and 10 at their own 30.
Want to remind everybody just that we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube. If you would, please give us a follow on Facebook, or if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We would greatly appreciate it. Trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube before the end of the year so that we can unlock some of the special features that YouTube offers, so that we'll be able to do more things with our coverage, especially when we go mobile.
So they'll use that bunch formation once more, under center, handoff straight up the gut. Once again met by a host of Panther defenders. Back there first, Jonathan Cooper breaking through.
And don't be afraid to interact with us in the chat, both chats, Facebook and YouTube. If you want us to give a little quick shout out, we can do that. Or if you want to make a donation, we'll definitely get your message out there with the live feed. Like I said, shaking off the rust up here for us, and some of the technical issues that we've got going on. But everything is working smoothly now. So if you would like to get a shout out, please give us a donation. You can find that on any of our pages, as Warren will run the football again. Decent yardage that time with a gain of about 5. And we're going to talk a little bit about our giveaways. I'm going to switch over there real quick. You're going to be muted for just a second, but we'll be right back. So as you're seeing on your screen right now, our giveaways, 2 AP Spirit shirts and 2 AP rally towels. So instead of doing the cowbells this year, we're going to do rally towels. And we do got plenty of them. We're going to be giving them away courtesy of JB Designs and Anahuac Sports Live. All you got to do is hit that follow button on Facebook, or hit that subscribe button on YouTube between now and next Friday night, Alex, when we do our first regular season game in Orangefield. All you got to do is hit that follow or subscribe to us on YouTube to enter for a chance to win one of the 2 shirts or AP rally towels, courtesy of JV Designs and Anahuac Sports Live.
So penalty there will move the football up 5 yards. We'll give them a first down, as this one's going to go off right tackle. Nothing really going there. They're going to give them forward progress to the 44. Yeah. Nonetheless, a host of Panther defenders there shut that down. We'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Pretty good crowd here tonight for the scrimmage, as both sides have fans. Everybody wanting to get back to a little bit of normalcy on Friday nights.
Well, definitely trying to get back to some normalcy with, we've got COVID back in the conversation for this year, and we're hoping that we don't have to revert to any kind of restrictions for these games, as the pass is a little bit overthrown and drops down to the turf for the intended Warren receiver. But as I was talking about, there's a lot of talk going around, and all the stuff that we went through last year, and the uncertainty and the restrictions on the capacities at stadiums and so on and so forth. That's what brought Anahuac Sports Live in to be so critical, so that people could watch from home. And it looks like it might be that way this year. Hopefully not. We'll hopefully still stick to the capacities as they are, and no mask mandates or anything like that required here at Kyle White Field.
Nice job by Caden Hampton, the senior, getting into the backfield, shutting that play down. Loss of 5 on the play.
I'll tell you, the second string defense is looking pretty good. There's definitely some tools there, and definitely gives you a comforting feeling as we jump into the regular season next week, that they've got plenty of players that they can rotate in and out of that defense to step in and give some of the starters a breather, and you can count on these players to make plays.
And that's the nice thing about the scrimmage as well. You can tell a lot from practice, but once you get them on the field, you're able to tell a little bit more. Is it football speed? Are they able to translate what they've been coached into putting it into a game? So, and again, this year we've got the Panther drone flying around, videoing and getting overhead coverage of coach going down in the trenches, and it's a big plus for these coaches to take a look at, to see proper hand fighting, stances, getting into the trenches to make sure that they're coaching them up properly.
Oh, absolutely. The drones have become such a vital tool, not only in the game of football, but in sports in general. And having that bird's eye view of seeing what's exactly going down, like you said, in the trenches, when those defensive and offensive fronts, where the holes are opening up, trying to show in the film room to those running backs where those holes are and where to be looking for them, is just it's such a great thing to have. And it looks like that particular drone is for the Warren Warriors, maybe, or maybe for the Panthers. I know that Coach Moore has his going on as well. But we're going to take a quick break here. Don't go anywhere. Be sure to pass the word along that we are live. We're going to go to the live format, quarter format, here shortly, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is Anahuac Sports Live.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Building a new home? Does your driveway need that long overdue facelift? Or are you just looking to finally get that lot cleared and ready to build something great? Look no further and trust the locally owned and operated professionals at Title Services. No need to hire multiple contractors. Title Services does all phases of residential, commercial, land clearing, house pads, ponds, dirt and rock delivery, and demolition. Call for a free estimate, 409-267-1057, and visit them on Facebook at Title Services, Inc. Processing, professional guided hunts, hide tanning, and gator merchandise. Porter's Processing and Alligator Farm offers a personal experience like no other. Locally owned and operated in Anahuac, Texas since 1987, Porter's has been Southeast Texas' premier choice for any hunting adventure need. Now offering full-service processing of gator, deer, beef, hogs, and other wild game. Make Porter's Processing this hunting season's one-stop shop. Visit them today at portersprocessing.com or call 409-267-8413. Anahuac Sports Live is brought to you in part by Hillary Auto, insurance agent with Texas Farm Bureau, Porter's Wild Game Processing and Alligator Farm, Title Services Incorporated, Anahuac National Bank, member FDIC, Chambers County Abstract Company, Third Coast Integrated Martial Arts, Turn 2 Specialty Companies, and Wilcox Drug Store in Anahuac.
And welcome back to Anahuac Sports Live's coverage of the tri-scrimmage between Anahuac, Hardin, Jefferson, and Warren. As we are getting set for kickoff here of the more game-like scenario, as coordinators coming up here to the booth for the Panthers. And let's see here. It is Hardin Jefferson kicking off to Anahuac. So the Panthers will be on offense to begin this part of the scrimmage. We'll call this the quasi-halftime portion, as brought to you in part by Porter's Processing. Thank them for sponsoring the halftime show.
No, that was my mistake. It's Texas Farm Bureau for the halftime show. Got it wrong on your sheet, so that's another thing that I got to fix before next week, isn't it?
I apologize about that, Hillary. It is Agent Hillary Otto and the Texas Farm Bureau sponsoring the halftime show. I'll make up for it, Hillary, I promise. As set back to return for the Panthers, they're going to have a trio back there, including Sanchez, Corbett, and Moore.
As we switch back over to the live feed, this is going to be more of a live game scenario. There's going to be a game clock, and I took the scoreboard off because of the three-team format that we've got going on for the scrimmage, just to keep things less confusing. But as we talk about, the Panthers, what they've been able to do so far, we've been able to see some good things. Definitely some improvement from last week when they were in Newton, as they kind of struggled a little bit from the reports that I got back from that. A touchdown made on the defensive side of the football, and then a pass to Zion Clark in the corner of the end zone from Curiel to make 12 points on the day scored, which is, only 2 of the 3 that we've seen today, Warren making the other one.
Again, those watching, we were able to get a partial roster from Anahuac, as fair catch will be caught at the 20, and that's where the Panthers will set up shop for their first offensive possession here of this quarter. We're going to go 3 quarters for this scrimmage. Hardin Jefferson taking on Anahuac first, Warren versus Hardin Jefferson, and then Anahuac versus Warren to finish things off. So Corbett will be under center at the Panther 20.
So more of a game-like scenario here. I expect to see what Neese and his offense have been able to really work on, and see how much they speed it up to the ball every time.
I'm sorry, it was a fair catch, so that will be put down at the 25. 2 backs as Corbett sets back to pass. Clark off the fingertips as he was able to get just a touch of separation between him and his defender. A really nice pass there by Corbett as he almost put it right on the money, but first play of the game, Laundry on the field. We'll see what the official call is. And it is going to be holding against the Panthers, so that's going to set them back 10 yards. We'll bring up first down and 20 from their 15.
Well, the penalty monster keeps attacking the Panthers. That's something that bothered them last year. And we talked about, game in and game out, limiting the penalties, penalty yards, the mistakes made, and so on and so forth. So I'm sure that Coach Neese is really emphasizing to his players that we cannot have these type of penalties in every single game.
2 backs once more. Clark, the solo receiver, handoff straight up the gut to Sanchez. Sanchez finding his way through. He's going to pick up the 10 plus a couple more, give him 12 yards on the pickup, and actually give him 13 on the pickup, brings up second down and 7. Hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Formation's going to go 2 wide, including Clark and Moore. 2 in the backfield, looks right, has Moore, caught, and they're going to say incomplete. They're going to say he never had control of the ball. Second drop of the night for Moore, as he missed out on a touchdown, and then this time would have had enough for the first down. Brings up third down and 7. Some of the issues you want to see resolved in this type of scenario.
Well, that's why we do these scrimmages, Alex, is to work through some of these scenarios, and the coaches being able to tell the players in real time what to expect and what they're doing. And just the ball went in and out of Moore's hands that time. Almost could have went either way as a completion and a fumble for that matter.
Corbett under center, 2 backs behind. He's going to roll right under all sorts of pressure. Lofts it up for Sanchez. Caught across the 40, makes a move. 45, breaks an ankle of a Hardin Jefferson defender. Is going to pick up 20 on the pass and catch, and will move the chains.
Well, great moves there by Sanchez, and we talked about him earlier, Alex. I mean, he's going to be one of those key players for this Anahuac offense to make plays, and that was one of them.
Boy, he was able to stop on a dime there. Sanchez is going to be the lone setback here. Near side is going to be Moore and Tinsley. Pitch left, Sanchez finding room across 50, across the 45, and being brought down from behind at the 30. Boy, Sanchez looking really good so far, as that's going to be another pickup of 22. Move the chains, first down for the Panthers.
Yes, another great gain there by Christian Sanchez, the soccer player, and that's definitely benefited him on the football field, and you can tell that he's gained a few steps from last year, Alex.
2 wide, 1 to each side. Clark and Moore fakes the pitch. Corbett's going to keep it himself. He's going to take it across the 25. He's going to get brought down at the 21. They're going to give him the 22. So that'll be a pickup of 8. We'll bring up second down and 2.
As Corbett comes over to the sideline, Curiel's going to go in.
In high school, if a high school player gets their helmet knocked off, they do have to take the next play off. So Marcos Curiel will come in to take the next snap. 2nd down and 2. We do have a rolling clock here, as we'll tick under 8 minutes remaining here between Anahuac and Hardin Jefferson. Tinsley will move over to the left in motion. Has one receiver, it's Clark, and boy, Curiel had not a chance to get out of there, as the defensive end on the left side of the Hardin Jefferson defense was able to break through and take him down almost instantaneously. So that's going to be a loss of 3. We'll bring up 3rd down and 5 from the 25.
Shout out to Michelle Carr, has followed the Facebook channel and subscribed to YouTube. Thank you, Michelle, for pressing those 2 buttons. And again, if you want, please head over to our YouTube channel or our Facebook page and give us a like or a follow, and that subscribe button and the notification bell. We would greatly appreciate it, and we thank you all for joining us here tonight for the scrimmage before we get underway next week for the regular season.
Corbett out of the gun, 3 wide to the near side. Will send Moore in motion, clears out the left side. Corbett's going to take it, and he's going to get enough for the first down. Pickup of 7 to the 18 of the Warriors as they move into the red zone with their first opportunity, as the Panthers have been marching down the field, taking up pretty much half the quarter so far, as we'll tick under 6:45 remaining here in this first quarter of play. As Corbett is going to come under center. 2 backs, sending some men in motion. He's going to roll to his right side. He's looking for Clark, has him, and is going to throw low. Clark was double teamed on that side. Would have had to have been a perfect throw to get it to him. Nonetheless, incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Good coverage there by the Hawks secondary to prevent that play from going anywhere. Like you said, Zion Clark was double teamed, and they sniffed that play out pretty quick, Alex, and knew what the Panthers were trying to do there.
So 2nd down and 10. It's going to be Tinsley and Sanchez in the backfield. Far side is Clark. Corbett under center. Fakes the pitch and is going to hand it off straight up the gut. But it is going to be fumbled and recovered by the Hawks.
Well, all of that work for nothing, seems, as the Panthers were marching down the field in the red zone, putting pressure on the Hawks to try and put 6 on the board, and just coughs it up right there inside the 15.
I could not see it. I believe that was Sanchez on the handoff.
I did not catch it either.
But nonetheless, the Hawks will take over deep in their own territory. They will start this drive at their own 10. 1st down and 10, as we'll tick under 5:15 remaining here between Hardin Jefferson and Anahuac. Single setback for the Hawks. He's going to get it straight up the gut, as he's going to fight for about 3. Yeah, they're going to give him 3 yards on that. We'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
It's like we were talking about, more of a real game scenario here as we tick under 5 minutes. Actually at 4:45 remaining in this real quarter game scenario, where the Anahuac Panthers had the Hawks on their heels, but the defense prevailed, and now they are trying to put some points on the board themselves, but still pinned back deep in their own territory.
Hustling to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 7. 2 backs this time. It's going to go to the latter back, but he is going to, he's going to fight his way forward for another 3 yards, as Robert Bailey was there trying to hold him off. So that's going to be 3rd down. Actually, they're going to give him 2 yards on that. So 3rd down and 5 to pick up the 1st down. The 20 is the line to achieve to move the chains.
So Hardin Jefferson out of 4A Division II. The last year they went 5-5 with a bid by district showing, as they're going to hand it off again, looking for the far side corner, and he gets it. Got enough for the 1st down, up to the 30, still on his feet, going across the 40, and finally brought down at the 41-yard line. Biggest gain of the night for the Hawks.
And just like that, some breathing room for Hardin Jefferson as big chunk yardage there. Was able to pick up 24 on the run as he went around the left side. They've been hammering straight up the gut and to the right. This time tricked the Panthers by going to the left. Nothing fancy from this Hawks offense. It's going to be pound and ground, or ground and pound, if you will, if you say it right. And, we saw them throw, or no, that was Warren that threw. So not much passing coming out. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. He's going to get dragged down from behind. As in on that tackle, Caden Hampton, the senior.
Great penetration up front there by the Anahuac defensive line to make room for Caden Hampton to get the sack in the backfield for the Panther defense. And that's the kind of plays that the defense is going to need week in and week out, especially against Orangefield next week, as they should. Orangefield is expected to be a little bit stronger team than they were last year. That particular game last year for the Panthers got canceled because of COVID, so it'll be interesting to see what Orangefield has next week.
2nd down and 13 for the Hawks. 7 in the box for the Panthers as this handoff is going to go around the left side, not going to fool him again. And this time in on the tackle, 21, Kai Till.
Good pursuit there by Till as the Panther defense comes up with another sack in the backfield.
So this is going to be 3rd down and 16 from the Hawks' 35-yard line. We'll tick under 90 seconds after this play here in this first quarter of action between Hardin Jefferson and Anahuac. Under center, sends a man in motion. Handoff is going to go to the second back, and a little bit of miscommunication there is only going to pick up a yard. That'll bring up 4th down and 15.
Yeah, that's the second play in a row that I've seen the Hawks backfield just kind of bumping into each other and kind of lost, and that's to be expected this early in the season, Alex. I mean, we've only had a few weeks of practice. This, is only the second scrimmage for both teams, and you're going to just see things like that. It's going to take a few weeks to get those things corrected and right the ship, and I'm sure that the Hawks will do so when they start their season next week.
Just realized when Kai took off his helmet, he was a teammate of ours just a couple weekends ago.
That's correct.
Punt is going to be fielded by Corbett on fair catch at the 35-yard line. And that is where the Panthers will set up shop for their second possession here of the quarter.
So the clock has stopped, 36 seconds left, and that's what the Panther offense will have to try and make something happen. So I'm probably going to see some passing out of the Panther offense and some hurry ups, and it's good practice because that's what Nice is going to want to do anyway throughout the season.
So from the 35, 1st down and 10, no points put up by either team here in this first quarter that had a rolling 12 minutes. The next one, as we said, was going to be Warren and Hardin Jefferson. So Corbett will come under center. Far side is going to be Clark and Moore. Rolls to his right, looking downfield. Sanchez out of the back is dangerous pass as he floated it up there for Sanchez, allowed the defender to get back and knock the ball away right at the last second as Sanchez was about to come down with it. Just really didn't get any mustard on that pass, had to float it.
Well, the Panthers have got to do a better job up front and keeping those players away from Corbett to give him time long enough to set his feet. And we were talking about, Curiel setting his feet and firing it in there, and we know that Corbett's got a better arm than that. We got an injury on the field. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back after this on Anahuac Sports Live. You've heard about shopping local. How about banking local? Since 1976, Anahuac National Bank is the only locally owned and operated bank in Chambers County. We know you see Anahuac National Bank folks out in the community supporting our schools, veterans, and nonprofits. Why not bank where you live? These experienced banking professionals understand local businesses and the housing market. Visit online today at anbank.net, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
So back here from Kyle White Field on the campus of Anahuac High School. Anahuac Sports Live's first football broadcast of the 2021 school year. No score here between the Panthers and the Hawks. Corbett under center, 2 back, as handoff is going to get to Sanchez somehow. So he's going to bowl over a defender and 2. He's going to pick up 7, give him 18.
Great fake there. As we tick under 10 seconds, they're going to hurry line to try and get one more playoff. Looks like they will.
Rolling to his left is Corbett under pressure, is going to get the ball away. And that will end the first quarter between Anahuac and Hardin Jefferson, as neither team was able to put points on the scoreboard. But hopefully some good learning opportunities there for the Panthers, as Hardin Jefferson will take a quick breather, and Warren will bring their defense onto the field first, as they will kick off to Hardin Jefferson, as the Hawks will get another chance on offense here in the second of 3 quarters this evening.
We're going to take another quick break here while both teams get reset, and we'll be back right after this on ASL.
Hello, my name is Mark Poggles, and I'm the pastor at Community Christian Fellowship Church in Oak Island, Texas. I would like to personally invite you to join us for Bible study during the week and our church services on Sunday morning. We have a nursery for the little ones, and our church family will greet you with a smile on their face and a loving heart. Come and celebrate with us as we study God's Word and give Him all the praise and thanks He deserves. Hope to see you there. Take care and God bless. Go Panthers!
Sports Live is brought to you in part by Hillary Auto, insurance agent with Texas Farm Bureau, Porter's Wild Game Processing and Alligator Farm, Title Services Incorporated, Anahuac National Bank, member FDIC, Chambers County Abstract Company, Third Coast Integrated Martial Arts, Turn 2 Specialty Companies, and Wilcox Drug Store in Anahuac.
Welcome back to Kyle White Field on the campus of Anahuac High School, where Hardin Jefferson and Warren, the Hawks and the Warriors, this is not NBA, this is Texas high school football, as they get set for their scrimmage part here, the quote-unquote second quarter of 3. Don't know how you can do quarters and 3s, but nonetheless, 2 offenses that look a lot alike, as the Hawks are going to hand it straight up the gut. Warren is going to shut them down there after a pickup of 2. We talked a little bit about Hardin Jefferson. As for Warren coming into this year 3-6 last year, as they were able to pick up some wins out of district play. They unfortunately did not pick up a win in district play. Some of the players to watch: Eli Tibbetts, Logan Williams. Eli Tibbetts, a tight end linebacker. Logan Williams, offensive lineman, defensive end. As a fumble is going to be recovered. No, not recovered. We'll see if they were able to jump back on it. They did get on it, so the Hawks did recover. That is going to be a rather large loss, as looks like it's going to be a loss of 6 back to the 21. Will bring up 3rd down and 14.
Well, good job there by the Warrior defense to get in the backfield and cause that fumble. They almost had it to pick it up to turn the ball over, but the Hawks were fortunately able to jump back on it, and they will have 3rd down and long coming up.
Bunch formation is going to hand it off left side. 25, that play worked against the Panthers too. Will pick up a good chunk of yardage, but not going to be enough, as that's going to bring up 4th down and, let's say, 4. 4th down and 4. Of course, being a scrimmage might be something you want to work on, but the Hawks will send their special teams unit onto the field and will punt it away to the Hawks. I'm sorry, punt it away to the Warriors. Looking at the Warriors, they've got a couple of kids who are coming back on the offensive lines who are multi-year starters. Apparently some big questions will be at the skill positions as the snap is back, punt is away. It's going to take a bounce and will be downed at the Warrior 43-yard line. Skill spots on offense, as they're going to have to break in a bunch of new players to execute their wishbone offense.
You know, that wishbone offense is something that's been done for decades, and you know, the wing tee and the Wildcat has been the flavors the last, I would say, 10 years or so, Alex. So you don't see the wishbone as much as you used to, but you know, this Warren Warriors offense likes to use it, and their new head coach is definitely wanting to get that style of play implemented there in Warren.
Yeah, Coach Dubois taking over the helm for the Warriors. Sends a man in motion. Handoff is going to go straight up the gut. They're going to give him forward progress for a yard. We'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Willie's not here. Trent, Terry, and Alex here in the booth. Catbird seat. We'll tick under 8 minutes remaining here in this quarter between Hardin, Jefferson, and Warren, as couple move on the offensive line for the Warriors. That's going to set them back 5 yards. We'll bring up 2nd down and 14.
I just want to mention that we love hearing you guys in the chats, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube. If you want to interact with you guys, so don't be afraid to comment and kind of banter with each other. As long as you keep it clean, then we definitely encourage you to interact within our chats.
Just a reminder, we are not a dating service, as was brought up last year. And
definitely an interesting one.
Under center, as the handoff is going to go to the last back through. He's going to be gang tackled in the backfield. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage to bring up 3rd down and 14. I also was corrected during the break, as want to make sure I give head coach Greg Neese his due. Back-to-back state championships for the Newton Eagles, as meant no harm whatsoever with any graduates of Newton High School to whom I offended directly above me. There is going to be a timeout on the field. We're going to take it with them, as we'll be back with the scrimmage after this on Anahuac Sports Live.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
From custom processing, professional guided hunts, hide tanning, and gator merchandise, Porter's Processing and Alligator Farm offers a personal experience like no other. Locally owned and operated in Anahuac, Texas since 1987, Porter's has been Southeast Texas' premier choice for any hunting adventure need. Now offering full-service processing of gator, deer, beef, hogs, and other wild game, make Porter's Processing this hunting season's one-stop shop. Visit them today at portersprocessing.com or call 409-267-8413.
Also, another correction, as Warren High School's new head coach is not Jay Buckner.
Austin Smithy,
the
new coach for Warren, and we apologize for that, Coach Smithy. As Warren's offense comes back to the line, wishbone formation. As the quarterback rolls out to his right to pass, got a man just over his head and falls incomplete.
Fourth down and 14 for the Warriors. We'll probably see their special teams come onto the field.
But definitely something that Dave Campbell's Texas High School football site needs to update there for Warren. If any of you Warren Warrior faithful want to submit that correction, please do so. That way we don't get that, or anybody else gets that wrong here in the near future.
I'm going to expect a new copy of Dave Campbell's football here in the mail. So
just go ahead and redo that entire magazine and we'll be all right.
Punting team comes onto the field for the Warriors. Again, unfortunately, in these types of situations, don't usually have the luxury of getting rosters from the away teams. Thus, us referring to them as the punter, quarterback, etc. We'll take under 5:20 here remaining in this second quarter.
Low snap, but a good punt.
As it'll be fielded at the 25-yard line, as that is where the Hawks will set up shop here for their second offensive possession of this quarter. No score from any of the teams so far. As the evening turns into dusk, it is definitely nice to see the kids back on the field. Truly nothing like Texas high school football.
Well, if you didn't notice it, it's got a hint of fall in the air, and Texas high school football is definitely the opening to that hint of fall. As
handoff is going to go straight up the gut. That's going to be a pickup of 10 and moving the chains for the Hawks.
But definitely great weather here in Southeast Texas. Not too hot. It was pretty hot earlier, but it's definitely cooled down a little bit. And I'm sure that turf feels a lot better with that sun behind the trees.
So first down, ball's going to be placed in between the 35 and the 36. So we'll give him the 36. Going to end around right side. He's going to get the corner, 40-45. Hesitates. Cross midfield. Is finally going to get knocked out of bounds. We'll see where he gets marked out. They're going to give him the 35.
What great awareness there by the running back for the Hawks. I mean, just that little hesitation got him 10 more yards.
Well, it allowed the blockers to catch back up to him. Then he was able to get behind them and pick up that extra yardage. So 25-yard gain for the Hawks as they move into Warrior territory for the first time. First down and 10 from the Warrior 35. Under center. Sends a man in motion. Ball's going to be put on the turf, but is going to be jumped back on by the Hardin Jefferson quarterback. Will be a loss of 1. Will bring up second down and 11.
I want to thank Charles McKinney for giving us that correction earlier in the chat. Thank you, Charles. I've seen our sub count for our YouTube channel ticking up as we've gone live here, and I appreciate everybody that has subscribed. We really appreciate that. Again, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year, so that we can unlock some of YouTube's special features that we can use while we go mobile.
Under center, sends a man in motion. First back through, gets the ball as he's going to fight his way forward. He's going to pick up 11 for the first down, give him a few more, as that will be a pickup of 16 and will move the chains once more as the Hawks are looking to get into the red zone.
And if I had to guess, that was probably running back Keith Andrews for the Hawks. Just kind of guessing there based on his size and his speed. Because there's quite a few running backs that the Hawks utilize.
As this one's going to be kept by the quarterback, and he's going to have carte blanche straight into the end zone. Late flag. As it stands right now, it's a 20-yard touchdown, but we're going to have holding, and that's going to bring it back.
Now that's unfortunate. That was a great play by the Hawks outside of the holding. As they're trying to motion to stop the clock as it ticks under 2 minutes here, because they were going to start and stop the clock on penalties and turnovers or possession changes.
So he threw the flag about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. So that'll be a loss of 8. And we'll bring up 2nd down and 18. It's stopped now.
Yes, it is.
Quarterback will keep it left side. He's trying to break the corner, is not going to get there. He's going to get pushed out of bounds at the 20. That'll be a pick of 8. And will be 3rd down and 10.
Like I said, they started the clock now, and they gave them that one play to kind of catch it up a little bit. It was right around 2-minute mark. Now we're sitting at 1:38 remaining in this particular quarter of play, as the Hawks are knocking on Warren's door to try and put 6 on the board before they're retired for the evening and go back to Hardin Jefferson.
2nd down and 10. Is going to be put on the turf and recovered by Warren. As Hardin Jefferson does not collect on a good drive. Kind of the same way Anahuac did in the first quarter.
Absolutely did.
So Warren will have just over a minute if they stop the clock to get their offense back on the field. And following that will be the return of the Panthers, as they will take on Warren. Under center will have some confusion in the backfield. The running back finally gets it, but too late, as he's going to be stopped for a loss of 3. And then they'll give him a loss of 2. We'll bring up 2nd down and 12.
Warren offense has kind of struggled so far trying to move the ball, as they are a ground and pound team. And a little bit of a trip in the backfield. I think he tripped over his own man as the quarterback falls down and a flag comes in, but that'll be the end of time in this quarter. And Hardin Jefferson will make that long trip, not really a long trip, but that trip back to Sour Lake. Definitely probably some things that they can say that they did well and some things that they probably didn't do so well, but I'm sure that they're going to go over all those things in the film room before their regular season start next week, and we wish them the best of luck in their season. As the Anahuac Panthers will retake the field, and this time they will be up against the Warriors for their 12 minutes and the final quarter of this scrimmage format.
Panthers will be kicking off to the Warriors. So the Warriors will get back on offense, as this will be the 3rd and final quarter of the scrimmage. Again, we want to remind you the Panthers open up their season next Friday night in Orange, Texas, to take on Orange Field. Trent, myself, and Terry will be there to bring you all the action. You are unable to make the trek out there to kind of Louisiana. Ball's teed up as Christian Sanchez is set to kick it off. Pre-game show will begin at 7 o'clock. End over end kick is going to be fielded at the 15, as Warren will set up shop from their own 25 for their first possession of the ball game.
I want to remind everybody again of our giveaway, and it starts tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be giving away 2 AP T-shirts and 2 AP Rally Towels, courtesy of JV Designs and Anahuac Sports Live. All you got to do is follow us on Facebook and or subscribe to us on YouTube to enter and win one of the shirts or the rally towels. And trust me, folks, we're going to be giving away a lot of those rally towels this year. So spread the word, get those follows, get those subscriptions put in. You might not know this, but you probably have a YouTube account. If you are a Gmail user through Google, then you can register as a YouTube subscriber and go over to our page. Just search Anahuac Sports Live in the search bar and hit that subscribe button.
Warriors under center. Handoff is going to be stuffed in the backfield, as coming through with a nice hit, Robert Bailey. Said his name a couple times tonight.
And it makes me wonder, is that Jamaj Bailey's younger brother? If somebody knows that out there, go ahead and type that in the chat if you don't mind. Just assuming at this point, but I'm assuming he's Jamaj, a senior, first-year player last year that graduated from Anahuac.
Robert, a junior tight end / defensive end, as the Hawks, the Warriors will send the man in motion. He's going to get waylaid. Balls gets put on the turf. The Warriors do fall on it, but flying in and laying the wood, Garrett Dye. No surprise there. One of the Dye brothers, or another one of the Dye brothers, being very physical.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and we talked about it earlier that he was going to have to be one of these lower classmen that step up this year. Him and Dalton Hendricks. We're going to have to see a lot of the, filling in on that defensive side of the ball for the Panthers this year, and really be playmakers. If you can score on defense regularly, you're going to win football games.
Absolutely, and that almost drew him off sides, but man in motion, setting back to pass, lofts it up, is going to be intercepted. Javian West on the return, running over everybody he sees, across the 10, tripped up, couldn't keep his footing, gets taken down at the 6, as West on the INT sets up the Panthers in great field position. As West able to get down the field. We do currently have a timeout on the field.
We're going to take a timeout with him. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is Anahuac Sports Live. Sports Live is brought to you in part by Hillary Auto, insurance agent with Texas Farm Bureau, Porter's Wild Game Processing and Alligator Farm. Sorry about that. We're back now. Anahuac has the football.
Corbett under center. Handoff, Sanchez right side is going to get one on the rush. We'll bring up second down and 9.
Well, it's kind of a weird placement on that ball. I thought that, that interception got inside the 10 or close to the 10, and they ended up spotting it, around the 29?
It could have been something.
The 24?
Especially in something like this, they could have wanted to try some plays outside. Quick screen pass is going to be too low for Moore.
And he's got to be more aware than Mac. Alex, a ball thrown behind the line of scrimmage and don't come him up with it like that. that's not a forward pass, so that's a live ball.
Right.
And he's got to be able to be aware of that and jump on it or pick it up and run.
So the loss of 3. Will bring up third down. No, I'm sorry, loss of 4 will bring up third down and 13. We're going to go 2 wide. Clark on the far side, Moore on the near side. Lone setback is Sanchez. Fakes the toss. Corbett straight up the gut, trying to break tackles. He's going to get down to the 20. That's going to be a pickup of 7, but not nearly enough. 7 yards short. And we'll see what the Panthers want to work on here, if they want to try to set up Christian for a field goal, or if they want to work on just some more offensive plays.
Well, I mean, Christian's definitely got the leg for this, but I think we're going to see the offense stay out on the field, of course, just to try and get this 4th down scenario in the red zone under their belt and get some experience there as Corbett comes back under center, 2 back.
2 receivers near side. 2 setbacks. Rolls right, has time, has a man, and bounces it right in front of Moore, as just couldn't deliver the football, as Moore had created just a bit of separation. Couldn't get it there. Turnover on downs will bring the Panther defense back onto the field, as we'll take under 5 minutes remaining here in this quarter of the scrimmage.
So again, we see the Anahuac Panthers in the red zone, knocking on the door and unable to capitalize, especially on that interception by their defense. And that's something that they're going to have to do. Big plays on defense, you've got to put the ball in the end zone on the offensive side. And, we've seen Anahuac get in close to the red zone. We've seen them score twice in the unsimulated portions of the scrimmage. But so far in the real game type situation, both times unable to punch the score in.
And again, scrimmage, a glorified practice, wanting to get some of those game reps. You move into, next week where you're taking on Orangefield, not district play, but again, trying to gear up for the all-important district play. It's nice to have those wins, but ultimately when you get to district play, that's your bread and butter. It's what determines getting into the playoffs and etc. there. Pickup of 2 will bring up 2nd down and 8. I tell you what, though, very early on, the defense has looked pretty good. Had a couple of mishaps with some broken coverages, but other than that, the front 7 have been quite stout against the running games of both Hardin, Jefferson, and Warren.
It's definitely a pleasant surprise, as defense was one of the big question marks that we talked about in the pregame.
Under center, ball will go to the last man through. Handoff is going to go straight up the gut. That's going to be another pickup of 2. I guess give them 3 on that one. We'll bring up 3rd down and 5, as we'll tick under 3 minutes remaining.
So a quick look ahead here at the next couple of weeks for Anahuac Sports Live. We got varsity volleyball against Port Arthur Memorial at here in Anahuac next Tuesday. We'll start that stream around 4:30 p.m. We got JV football. Orangefield will be here in Anahuac 5 o'clock on Thursday. And then, of course, varsity football in Orangefield. And we'll start that stream at 7 o'clock for the Title Services pregame show. As Warren comes back up to the line, it's 3rd down and about 5.
This is going to go straight up Broadway, and he's going to get enough for the 1st down. He's going to get 7, and that'll move the chains to the Warriors' 32-yard line.
And as we get into September, as far as football goes, September 2nd, that is a Thursday, Houston Fur Academy will be coming here to Anahuac. And then we'll have KIPP Generations, another private school, here on the 10th. And then Bridge City on the 17th, which will wrap up preseason play. And then district will start on the 24th against Tarkington here in Anahuac. And just to a look at Anahuac's great play in the backfield by number 50. And that was Dalton Hendricks. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. That was Dalton Hendricks in the backfield for the Panthers, and we talked about him earlier. But to a little bit talk about, this district, Alex, and to me, it comes down to Woodville, Anahuac, and East Chambers basically just the same way as it was last year.
Absolutely.
And in my opinion, I mean, as good as East Chambers was last year, I believe Woodville is the team to beat in this district this year.
Yeah, watching Woodville play, Woodville being the third team out of district as Anahuac took second the last game of the year last year. But Woodville made it farther in the playoffs, and there's a lot of talent on that Woodville team. East Chambers lost a lot of talent graduating. As we've seen from East Chambers, they just seem to reload every year. So it'll be interesting to see who they are bringing up and how that looks. But Woodville has a very senior-laden club this year that, like you said, the three of them will be in the hunt to duke it out. And man, it's going to be a lot more fun this year, as we've said. Head coach Greg Neese with another year under his belt, his third year, and that's really where you start to see these head coaches make the impact. You've gotten a couple of years in the program. You've changed the culture at the school. In fact, we saw an interview with Coach Neese about a week ago saying, when he got here, it was kind of, hey, we're going to do what we can and good job, instead of, no, we're going to win district championships. We're going to be good. We're striving for greatness. We're not striving for, we did pretty good this year. So that's the culture shift that head coach Greg Neese has brought to Anahuac, and very excited to get this third year underway here against Orangefield a week from today, as that last play straight up the gut is going to end the scrimmage for this evening.
A good couple of last plays there by Warren to try and get it in before time just expired. Best of luck to Warren and their bid for the season. Hopefully they can make something happen for them, and just to elaborate on what to expect out of the Panthers this year. Alex is minimizing penalties was something that plagued them last year, and utilizing your key players. And we already talked about Landon Corbett, we talked about Christian Sanchez and Zion Clark, and we talked about some of the underclassmen that we saw here tonight. Dalton Hendricks making a few sacks in the backfield for the Panther defense. Also seeing Garrett dial in on some plays, and some of these younger underclassmen that came in on the second string during a series early on in the night. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting to see what this Panther football team will evolve into over the next few weeks during the preseason as they move into district. And just to touch on district a little bit more, we talked about Woodville and Ty Robinson's very talented team over there, and Russ Sutherland's also equally talented team in East Chambers there in Winnie. It's going to come down to those three teams, and when these teams go head to head, it's most likely going to come down to the very last game of the season will be in Woodville, as Anahuac travels there to determine playoff placement.
And what a game that was last year. Anahuac and Woodville coming down to the last possession of the ball game, the last seconds of the ball game, and coming up with a big fourth down stop on defense for the Panthers to preserve the win, if I'm not mistaken. But it's going to be a fun year, man. So happy to be back up here, and excited to get underway next Friday night against Orangefield.
And don't forget to join us next Friday, as Alex just mentioned, in Orangefield. We'll start at 7 o'clock with the Title Services Incorporated pregame show, and I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about the things that we mentioned here tonight. We'll also get the pregame interview from both coaches, as Alex will be down on the sidelines with those coaches, so don't miss that, as well as the Texas Farm Bureau halftime show and the Porter's Processing post-game show. Don't want to miss any of that, as we're going to update you with scores from around the district, from around the area, as well as stats in the game and special insight throughout the entire the game as we get kicked back off here on Anahuac Sports Live and a brand new 2021 Texas high school football season.
That name's a little different now. Come on.
Again, we appreciate everybody joining us, and thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week. For Alex Outram, Terry Fortenberry up above us, I'm Trent Hart. You've been watching Anahuac Sports Live. Good night, everybody.